to some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is my boomstick. Here's Johnny.
I have to return some videotapes.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Hello and welcome to All Things Horror. I'm Ben and I'm joined here with Matt, and each week we review horror movies both old and new. We'll have a brief spoiler-free chat before we jump into the plot and give our own thoughts and personal ratings. That will be from a scale of 1 to 10. So the movie for today is Ghost Ship from 2002. Directed by Steve Beck. Someone who I'm not too familiar with.
I think this ended his directorial career.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much. He's not really done anything.
Well, I think it's only this and 13 Ghosts, which was a year before. It was even before this and 13 Ghosts.
They're trying to do a thing with horror and like bring back old horror films and old horror styles and stuff. But I think he did VFX on things like The Abyss and things like that, and even maybe Indiana Jones. So he probably just went back to doing visual effects after this.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Are you a big fan of 13 Ghosts? I'm not that big. I know people love it, but I'm not really.
No, I think the ones around that time, like the remake of House of Haunted Hill and The Haunting and 13 Ghosts and possibly this, but we'll talk about this, all kind of lumped together of like a particular period of time where they almost feel like pretty much now they'd probably be PG horror, and there's like the people in it are all kind of teen stars, like or teen stars and sort of and one or two character actors, or like one or two kind of older actors, and all the rest of them are like characters, people you'd see on like Dawson's Creek or things like that.
The Matthew Lillards and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's I guess that to a certain degree, even though they're not anything like them, it's like, let's get these young people like horror because of Scream. Let's get loads of horror films made with young people in them, and like let's get Shannon Elizabeth in them. Let's get people like that, and like let's see what happens.
Yeah.
It was a funny period of time because you could go and see these in the cinema as well.
Before we get too deep into this one, I have got some exciting news. We've hit a milestone. You know, we've got 100 subscribers on YouTube now. That's pretty awesome.
Nice.
And I have had some people asking me if we would go to a video podcast, which I am trying to do. We've started on this one. So, yeah, I don't know if it's going to work, but I will try my very best. I'm not very good when it comes to video editing, but yeah, fingers crossed. If not, Matt can do it because he's an expert when it comes to video editing.
Oh man, I mean, the thing is, I reckon just to be, I wouldn't say I was particularly amazing at it, but what I had like 2 years of really working on it to try and get better at it, to the point where I have had to buy better software to do the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
And then when you buy the better software, you think, well, I better bloody use it.
Yeah.
So it's like anything, like you don't want to waste the investment.
Mm-hmm.
But we're back. It's been a little bit of a break. We've got our 100 subscribers. You're talking about video podcast. It's all exciting. The boys are back. Yeah. We're talking about the greatest film of all time, Ghost Ship.
Well. Yeah, man.
Things are rosy in the garden.
Yeah, big thank you as well to everyone that subscribed. You know, it really helps the channel grow when you subscribe. And honestly, when we first started, I didn't even know if this would be something that people would be interested in. So I'm amazed and very grateful that many people have actually gone out their way to support us. So, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much.
And the people listening like on other platforms too, you know, Spotify and all the other things. That's really amazing. Yeah, it's really cool. Because like I think there's one thing that I've learned the last few years is like just because maybe people aren't in the comments or directly interacting with you doesn't mean like some people just don't like doing that. They just rather listen to it and say nothing. And like those people are really cool, like really important. It's really nice, but as well as the ones who are like, "Oh, I really enjoyed it. Oh, thanks very much," which is really appreciated that somebody's gone to the time doing it.
Oh, yeah.
But like, it's sometimes easy to forget that there are like other people who just enjoy it. You know, a bit like you know, when there's podcasts I listen to, but I don't tend to go out of my way to say, I really enjoyed it, but I do. I do enjoy it.
I do. Anyway, back to this movie, the best ghost movie of all time. We have mentioned,
a ghost car.
Yeah, we've mentioned this a couple of times on the podcast. I think I know when we did Wrong Turn, I think I mentioned this because it's both starring Desmond Harrington.
Oh man, this guy.
This
film. It would be so much better. Both of those films would have been better if because the thing is, both Wrong Turn and this are really well cast, except for him.
Well,
he's the worst part of all of them. So like, you just start thinking, well, if like he wasn't, because he's like the most important character in the film, and in this one he starts off being this kind of awkward, you know, fish out of water, geeky kind of guy that doesn't really know anything about what he's doing. Obviously, we learn more about him as we go along. In both of those two different personalities, he's rubbish. And then in Wrong Turn, we're like, oh, that would have been so much better if Jeremy Sisto played his character and was like we didn't lose him. He didn't die part of the way along. And the same goes for this. Like, Ron Eldard is a really good actor. I remember him being in ER. I remember him being, obviously he's in a lot of things with Julianna Margulies because I think they were married at this point. But like Alex Dimitriades is in this, who is a really great Australian actor. I mean, he's not playing Australian in this. I think he's playing Mexican or
which one's
Italian. He plays Santos.
Is he the one that drives the boat, the little boat, not the ship?
Yeah, he's the kind of, you know, mechanic kind of guy.
Yeah. I know.
And like, he's a great actor. He's been in great Australian film, Heartbreak Kid. One called what's it called? Wrong Turn or Head On, about like coming to terms with sexuality. He was in the TV series Heartbreak High. He's a really, really good actor. And he gets to do nothing in this film. The same with Karl Urban's in this film.
Yeah,
and gets
Karl
to
Urban.
do very, very little.
Yeah, I know. I to be honest, I mean, I've seen this movie a few times. I don't know why. But
big Desmond Harrington fan.
Yeah. But yeah, like I totally forgot that Karl Urban was in it, because obviously he's like, I don't know if you would say he's made his like big break in The Boys, but I'm shocked actually looking back now, like how many films he's actually been in. Well, this is it, because he's had a decent career.
Yeah, he's like gone. You can take it back to like obviously Doom, but he's Bones. He's led the reimagining of Leonard McCoy in Star Trek. He's been in Lord of the Rings, something I don't know a lot, but I know what you mean about like The Boys. He's Judge Dredd, or he's a Judge Dredd. So like the guy has done a lot. And in this, he takes another one. He takes a backseat to the talents of Desmond Harrington.
Yeah.
I didn't even like him in. He's had a little part, Desmond Harrington, a little part in Dexter, and I didn't like him in that either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, and Gabriel Byrne, is it Byrne.
Gabriel Byrne, yeah,
Byrne.
yeah. So
Yeah.
from the he's okay in it. He's good. He does what he's supposed to do for the character.
I reckon I should have done more research. I know we haven't done a podcast in 3 weeks now. You would think I would have had better research, but now I'm just saying names and I'm like, oh, what else are they
people
doing?
don't see him. I don't know what's kind of going on with Gabriel Byrne, but I mean, he was born in 1950, so I guess he might just not be doing as many films. But he was in The Usual Suspects. He was in Hereditary, but I haven't seen Hereditary. I still haven't seen Hereditary.
Yeah, I knew.
Miller's Crossing
something.
is the one that I had to study at university, so I remember that quite a lot because it was a early Coen Brothers film. So he's got a good solid career. I guess he was kind of on a par with Liam Neeson at one point as that kind of go-to grizzled Irish dude. Julianna Margulies is probably top star in this because she was coming off ER and ER being like the biggest show at the time. What's strange about that, I think, is it places it very much in that early 2000s, Clooney era, being the biggest star, movies that were being made that a lot of us kind of just forget or gloss over now, but they were making it. This wouldn't make it to the cinema now. No, like this, a lot of these would be streaming. Streaming just wasn't a thing. But yeah, I don't think this is. I'm gonna put this out there. I don't think this is terrible. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Even with Desmond Harrington, it reminded me like a slightly tamer in places, slightly tamer Event Horizon, which I love.
Yeah.
There's a bit more darker stuff that happens in that I wasn't expecting. The opening's really strong. There's a lot of faffing about. I don't think they knew what they were doing. I think I read that they didn't know whether they wanted to go full-on spooky, old-fashioned ghost story or kind of modern, sort of science fiction spliced.
I feel like they've tried too much at once.
Yeah.
Like they've tried to put every element they could into this movie, and they've just overpacked it.
Yeah, and I believe that what happened as well was that the writing. A lot of the people signed up for an original script that really didn't get made, but because they were shooting quite far away, and I think possibly they were shooting in Australia, that would explain Alex Dimitriades and Karl Urban. In fact, I know they were. The people were on the plane to shoot the film when it was all completely changed, so they just kind of had made that commitment to go and did it regardless.
Right, that makes sense.
So a lot of the people involved were like, this is not what I signed up for. And I kind of get that feeling. I always feel like Julianna Margulies is not really suited to that character that she plays.
Yeah.
And she almost seems a little bit more, she's more classy and reserved, and I think she's almost embarrassed by the character that she's given because it's probably completely different to the one she read.
Yeah. Yeah, I was interested to get your opinion on this because I knew that you hadn't seen it, and I feel like this movie, it's kind of known it gets a lot of hate, and Rotten Tomatoes have scored it a 14%. I get the feeling because I remember when this came out, and I get the feeling that people might have initially liked it when it came out. I seem to remember back in the early 2000s, people actually were like, oh, have you seen that film Ghost Ship? And then over time, I think the actual 2000s era of horror has got a bad rap. And Ghost Ship,
easy to hate, isn't it?
Yeah, Ghost Ship is one of those 2000s movies that you think of. So I think over the years, it's just gotten more negative. So, but I'm with you.
Totally.
It's not terrible, but it's not great.
No, and
it's an alright.
Yeah, they're really easy to hate, the movies from this, particularly because I think the CG and stuff CG ages more than practical effects. So, people can just point at that but actually, I don't think the CG is that bad. in this. Certainly, I think the opening scene is underrated. Like, it's quite a shocking, good opening. The acting isn't terrible, Desmond Harrington. But like, he's not a bad actor. I just think that everything I've seen him in, he's not the guy to play that role. Like, it was initially, I think if we think of it this way, it was initially going to be like a spooky, bloodless kind of reimagining of the haunted house kind of theme, but haunted ship, stranded and greed all tearing them apart, almost like The Shining going insane, trapped in this ship.
Yeah.
And then it was changed so much that, like, it's like you said, it's a bit. It's not one thing or another, is it? Or it's too much of some. It doesn't. The balance isn't right. Yeah. There's a lot of nothing happening, and then a lot of crazy shit. But the crazy shit's like really short bursts.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that works better. I really am a massive fan of Event Horizon, and that's probably one that people are only starting to come around to now, because I remember people laughing at that and saying that was a big flop and it was rubbish and all that kind of stuff. So, like, it's hard for a film from around this time to get any love. But, you know, I think this is better than 13 Ghosts, better than The House on Haunted Hill, better than The Haunting.
Yeah, I could get on that.
But that doesn't mean necessarily it's great, but it just means that those were very good. So, I mean, this is very similar to Event Horizon in terms of like what they're doing. It's just replace a spaceship for a ship.
Ship for ship.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I guess Titanic came out in '97 as well, so they're like, oh, put it on a boat.
Yeah.
But, let's put The Shining on a boat. It's weird. Actually, that would have probably worked better. Like, if they were gradually going insane and like doing stuff to each other, and you weren't sure how much of it was in their heads and how much of it was reality.
Yeah.
That would have worked better than what we did get. And again, a lot of that lies with the one person, and he couldn't hold that together. Like, it just didn't. Like, you're like, oh, him. Like, oh, okay. There's so much going on. It's built up so much, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it's him.
Is that
And oh, right, yeah. It's like a bit of an ending. And like, yeah, some of the special effects are pretty good. Like the ending of the special effects near the end, like like pretty good as well. But like, or maybe not good, but definitely inventive. Like they're definitely interesting. They might not look like, you know, perfect or anything.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know.
Let's hit that spoiler warning and let's go through this plot before we spoil any more.
I really hope Desmond Harrington doesn't listen to this.
Sorry, Desmond.
He's a nice guy.
Spoiler warning.
So it starts off in 1962, where we see this great big ocean liner. And probably the most memorable part of the movie, where we see like a large group of people that are like up on the deck dancing, having fun. They get completely sliced in half, right at the middle, and sometimes the neck. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but yeah, like
depends on your height.
Yeah, like some people it went through their middle, and then other people it was like straight through their head. So yeah, yeah, they all got sliced and diced, but there was this one little girl called Katie, and she survives because she was short, and yeah, it's just surrounded by this huge bloodbath of decapitated people and body parts everywhere. And yeah, like I say, definitely the most memorable part of the film. Whenever I think of Ghost Ship, I think of that specific scene because it's actually really good. Like, and it starts off. This movie starts off so well done. Like, it really it sets the movie up for something that you think is gonna be great, but then it's not. Everything after
And
this,
you're right.
it doesn't.
That's
it
like,
doesn't meet up to that standard. It starts so like high, and then from then it's just no. I don't know.
It's a shame. It's a shame because it is, like you say, it is a really good start. But again, it's like they're kind of putting the gore in after the fact into a script that didn't have any.
We needed more of that throughout the film.
Yeah. But then as I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, like, if you're looking at The Shining as a template, then you do have, like, the blood in the lift and stuff. And maybe this is the equivalent of that. It's a great start. It's really good. It's funny because that's a really visceral thing, that thing slicing across. I was trying to think, there's a Michael Fassbender film, and I'm just trying to remember what it is, with Cameron Diaz, where there's like a person who does who's like an assassin who kills people doing that same kind of slicing. And I remember watching that and thinking that stayed with me as well. Oh, it's called The Counselor. It's not a particularly well remembered film. It's a Ridley Scott film, but in that, somebody on a motorbike pulls up with like almost like not chicken wire. What's it called? Floss, I guess, like metal floss, and just chops people's heads off really quickly with this kind of thing. So like that is memorable, isn't it? That is a memorable start, and it's better than anything in any of those films that we mentioned earlier on. Yeah.
So first viewing for you, like it's first time watch, you put it on, you've heard from a lot of people, and it's got a reputation of not being a very good film. You whack it on, that scene happens. Are you like, oh, this is actually going to be really good?
Yeah, like I wake up. No, I like put my trousers on. No, I was it's like, oh, this is going to be good. No, it was. It surprised me because I thought it was going to be quite tame like those other films. Maybe I don't know.
But would you agree with me? Like from that point onwards, it didn't meet up to that again.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of time where they're talking in bars and I can understand that that's from the original script. Gotta be like you're learning bits about each character and what their motivations are and the money and all that kind of stuff. But the problem is when you start with something like that, you feel like, oh my word, like the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to have half an hour sat in a bar. Like yes, we need to have an ebb and a flow, but the pacing's all over the place because it's just like mega fast, slow for about an hour, and then a little bit more of a build up, and then mega fast end. And it's like, well, what about that stuff in the middle? Oh, we don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's not important. Forget that. I was like, oh, what about all the different characters that it doesn't matter. Like, just get over it.
Yeah.
And one thing that is quite funny now is when you watch these films, and the soundtracks are always like, I don't know, like nearly
metal.
Everyone has got like Down with the Sickness on it. Or something.
Yeah.
I feel like that should start every scene. But it's quite funny. It's quite funny because that and the special effects places it in a particular time, doesn't it?
Oh yes.
And I wonder what people watching it, like who are in their teens now watching it, probably looking at it like watching Buster Keaton or Charlie Chaplin or something. They're just like, what is this music?
Yeah.
What's going on with the special effects? I can do better special effects on my phone.
Right, so jump 40 years later, and then we meet this salvage crew, and they get approached by like a pilot, I think he was. It's called Jack, and he spotted the abandoned ocean liner, and they kind of like make a deal to get it because according to the law, it's like finders keepers when it comes to things out at sea, which works great for them when they're going through the ship and they find loads of gold. And
scavengers.
Yeah, and they all start experiencing their own ghostly, stuff.
Shit.
Yeah, the captain he has a drink with the ghost captain, and one of the guys, one of the guys tries getting it on with the sexy ghost singer woman, and then falls down an elevator shaft. And the main woman...
There's going to be some ectoplasm flying around.
The main woman, Maureen, she chills with a little ghost girl called Katie, the one from the beginning.
Oh yeah, Emily Browning.
Yeah,
She's grown up now.
Yeah. So yeah, like up until this point now, like it's okay, it's tolerable. Like I said earlier, it didn't meet up to that first opening scene, but I am following it. It is a decent watching film. It can be a little bit slow, but you're getting all of these stories, like for every individual character. There's good character build up for everyone, I would say. It's what comes after this. I don't know if you agree. I don't like.
Yeah, well, if we're learning all these things about the characters, then that should tie into how each of those characters individually falls apart and goes crazy or does something. But they just all get killed.
Yeah.
Like, there's no rhyme or reason to how or why. It's just because ghosts. So, like, there's no need then to learn all and find out all this stuff about them. Like, the reason we care about, like, even I'm thinking something like, say, Alien or whatever. Like, the reason we learn about those characters in Alien is because, like, their behaviors are going to inform how they behave that gets them killed or saves them. Like, so that well, in this one, it doesn't really matter. It's like, oh, I'm going to tell you about, I'm going to get back my wife's having and this one's like, well, maybe I need the money, and then it's just like, yeah, we're going to just kill you all. It doesn't really matter how or why, or it's nothing to do with anything that you do. It's just your turn. You're in the list. Mm-hmm. And again, the problem being that we're supposed to be following, I guess, what's Jack was supposed to be kind of, because he's the one who doesn't really know about this stuff. So I guess we're learning about what pirates or whatever the hell they're supposed to do. Yeah. We're supposed to be learning through him, but he's not very. I mean, maybe that's part of because he's hiding a secret, but he's not very interesting to follow. No, even when he's pretending to be nice. Like, I don't give a shit about it. Even when he's a good guy. So I definitely don't go. Just like, I literally was just like, kill this guy. At the end, I was just like, kill this guy. Like, just kill him.
Yeah, and that's like through flashbacks they learn like the malevolent force behind the killings, and obviously it turns out to be our main man Jack. And I don't like this. Like, he's, well, if I'm reading this right, he's actually a demonic entity who uses the ship to collect souls. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a very, like, surely there's an easier way.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you go into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's an easier way. There's loads of people just paddling about in the ocean. You could just pick up on them rather than getting these people and lying to them, bringing them along.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Pretends to, it's like a big ball ache just to, like, capture some soul. It doesn't matter whose souls, does it? It's not like, oh, that's a nice tasty soul. Like, we'll have that one. That's a nice big juicy one. Like, just any soul will be fine for him.
Soul's a soul.
In the original script, it was Gabriel Byrne, Murphy, that was supposed to be the sort of the collector of souls.
Oh, really? Oh, right.
Which makes a lot more sense if you think.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like, because he's the captain collecting all the stuff that they find at sea.
Captain? Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't even really need Jack at all.
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
That would make for a much better film. Yeah. Yeah. And like, the whole crew, they're after they're picked off one by one, like Maureen blows up the ship, and I guess freeing the souls, because you get this shot of them all like swimming up to the surface. I guess they're now free. Their souls are free to do whatever souls do. But just when you think it's over, we see Jack loading gold onto another ship, signifying the cycle will keep going on.
Oh, great.
Forever and ever.
2. Jack's Revenge. And he's called Jack as well. Like,
oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know if there's a reference. They have anything with a boat has to have a Jack in it, or because it's the Shining, we've got a reference to Jack Nicholson. Or,
Oh.
I don't know, but like we don't need this guy. And the thing is, Julianna Margulies, as well. She's playing a character that she probably didn't know she was going to have to play. But she's like have you ever had is there a heroic Maureen in any film ever?
I'm gonna go out on a whim and say no.
No. It's just so frustrating. It's like we're watching Wrong Turn and we're going like, why aren't they giving Jeremy Sisto more stuff to do? And we look at this, got Isaiah Washington in this film. Oh, Isaiah Washington, who's again a really good actor.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of something about him, and
No.
Yeah,
but I personally, I really don't like that ending. Like, there's too much going on. They've tried to squeeze too much in to this movie, and it all seems to like happen in that last final segment of the film. Like, it starts off really strong. There is somewhat of a decent flow throughout. You're getting some good character build-ups, and then you get to the end, and it's just like, here, have this, then this, then this, then this, then this. It's too much, you know. I guess, you know, I don't like thinking too much when it comes to movies.
The thing is, as well, like, logically, if it was Captain Sean Murphy, as I will call him, if he was the guy, and he was at that end part, and he knows them all, so he's using their weaknesses against them to collect their souls. So he's going like, you know, oh, why do you never act, Dodge? Why do you never act on your feelings for Maureen? And you're such a wuss, and you know, like making him feel. That's much better than Jack doing it, who doesn't really know them.
I agree. That would make it so much better.
You could see them going mad and like getting angry with him. But it's like, but you're our captain. Like we you know, we respect you, we love you, and like you're saying these mean things to us, and it hurts our feelings.
Yeah.
But because it's like Jack, they're like, hey, how do you know that stuff?
Yeah.
So like it would have been a big build-up and a massive scrap and a big fight with him, and they wouldn't want to kill him because he's their captain and they respect him, and we've got all this backstory where they'll do whatever he tells them because they trust him, and he's got them through all these tough times and all this stuff. But no, it's just Jack.
Just Jack.
It's just Jack going to hell, and everyone's like, bye, Jack. And then he's like, nope. I'm not dead. So, like, how would you... Did they need to blow it up at the end, I guess, or do they...
Well, she frees the souls. I don't know if she's doing that. I don't know. I just don't know. I really don't know.
So to free souls, you blow up the souls, the soul collecting ship.
Yeah.
So is he keeping the souls in the ship, or does he like suck the souls down and have them like in his belly?
Well, I don't know, because he's the collector of souls, so I thought he had the souls. So you kill him, and then the souls are free, but obviously not. It's the ship. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's got like a containment unit, like in Ghostbusters, where all the souls are in there, and she blew it up, and they all came out.
But then he gets a nice new ship at the end, and he's put in the Golden Air, a nice, fresh, new ocean liner, where he's going to collect a load more souls. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it.
I wonder if there's anybody listening to this who would be like, actually, I quite like the version of this where there's no Jack, or whether we're going to get all the Harrington heads onto us who are like massive fans are going like, listen, he made this film. He's the most important part of it. And
don't you slag off my Desmond.
Not Desmond, his mum.
Oh, Deza.
So, I don't know. The ending is a bit strange. Some of the build up to the ending's not bad.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like the
deaths
not so much
were cool.
The learning part, but
there was some. Well, I mean, obviously the first was the best, but there was some decent deaths, I guess. Like you get the guy that falls down the elevator. You get the guy that is like, what's he like, scuba diving? He gets caught up in the gears, which churn him up, and the captain drowns.
Can you imagine if, like, when it's revealed that all of those people that were killed it's all part of his plan. If that was, an old-timey version of Gabriel Byrne's character, and Maureen's seeing that, and she's going like, Murphy, like, it's, or Sean, or whatever they called him, I don't know, Captain, Skipper, but like, I can't remember what they called him, but like, if it was all being revealed by the little girl, it was him behind all of those things, like, that'd floor her, wouldn't it? And it would be really cool to see him doing it all. So like, it does, not quite sure whether this is one of those things where they've just put like a young, cool looking, hip 2000s dude in there, and then had to like then tweak everything to make it work, and it doesn't, and it's quite frustrating because some of the stuff in it, like you said, the gory stuff is really interesting. Yeah.
So I think we're both kind of on the same page here, and we've given a lot of reasons why. Yeah, absolutely. What would you give this out of 10?
Well, I first watched it. I watched it again today. That's why I'm all excited about the Desmond Harrington. But the first time I watched this was it's been a while ago. I'm just wondering if I've changed my mind from when I first put it on my Letterboxd. So since then, I've watched about 27,000 Star Trek films, and I can't remember anything about any other films. So Ghost Ship. Oh my God, it's a ghost ship. So maybe you have to go first because I can't find what I gave.
Yeah, all right, I'll go first.
Yeah,
so
go first, yeah.
The movie itself is a fine movie. It's okay. I would have preferred it to just be a straight up haunted ship rather than have this big twisty turny plot line with deeper meanings and a big surprise at the end. And my problem is I don't like thinking too much when it comes to movies. I want a nice simple movie. Give me a nice simple ghost ship. So it started off strong and it just went downhill from there. So I'm gonna give this a very generous 4 out of 10.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I can't remember what I gave it. I maybe didn't even remember to put it on my letterbox because I can't find it. So I'm gonna give it, because of the beginning and some of the effects I think are pretty cool. It's got some actors like Alex Dimitriades, for example, is one of my favorite kind of actors of that era that people maybe didn't get on board with in anywhere other than in Australia. So, and I also quite like Ron Eldard. He's good in, if anyone's ever seen House of Sand and Fog, he plays kind of good authority figures, cops, firemen, policemen are cops, Matthew. But cops, policemen, officers of the law, robber stoppers. So I feel like there's some good acting. Gabriel Byrne's like as good as he can be in this. But Desmond Harrington. So I'm going to give it 5.5 out of 10.
Ooh, 5.5. Okay.
Yeah, I was tempted to go for 6, but and I looked on IMDb as well, and it's 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb. So I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a little bit lower than the average.
Okay. All right. Okay. I can't believe that you liked it more than me.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. All right. I don't have a game this week, and I only have I wouldn't really call it news, but I'm going to hit this news segment because I really like it, and I'm proud of the audio clip that I made. Yeah. Yeah, not really news, but like I was just going to put some upcoming a couple episodes back I did like upcoming movies that were coming out this year, but I don't think I mentioned TV series. So there's the It TV series coming out. I don't know when, there's no actual date, but it's called Welcome to Derry, and apparently it's like a prequel to the movies.
Welcome to Derry.
Welcome to Derry. So I'm interested to watch that. Cause it'll be...
Who's making that? Is it the same people who did the films? Or no?
I have no idea. I would imagine so.
Okay.
I think it's still got what's his face playing Pennywise.
Bill Skarsgård.
That's the one. Yeah. Another one. This has been in the works for a while. Again, no date, but it does say it's coming out this year, and that's Crystal Lake.
Oh yeah.
Again, I think it's going to be a prequel.
Oh man,
too
that's.
sure.
I don't know. I'll believe that when I see it. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's been
seeming,
in the works for quite a while, and they keep pushing the date back and back and back. But yeah, the new date is it coming out this year. No,
and Jason is
specific date.
being played by Desmond Harrington.
Ugh.
And he also plays Mrs. Voorhees as well, and he is he's also all of the teenagers that.
And then the last one, which I'm most excited for, is Alien Earth.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I think.
Yeah. I don't
watch a lot of TV stuff, but yeah, I will.
Yeah, I've been all about the Alien franchise for the last couple of weeks. Like, I watched the new one, Alien Romulus.
Oh yeah,
I watched that recently. That was really good. I really enjoyed it, actually.
Cool.
Yeah,
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's really good. And I also finished the audio book for Alien Isolation. I know they made a game of it, and I have got.
Oh yeah, I was told that was a very, very, very good game. Yeah.
If this works, people will be able to see now on screen. Yeah, that one, Alien Isolation. I haven't played it yet. I've only seen clips. I know it's quite an old game, but
a lot of people say it's better than like as a game. It's almost better as a film than some of the films. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it is supposed to be within the storyline of the Alien franchise. So yeah, that's it really. Yeah, I've just finished the audio book for that, and I really liked it. It was fun.
Nice. And we got Final Destination Bloodlines too.
Oh yeah, is that a movie or series?
Movie, not a series. Sorry. Hey. Oh yeah, we're doing series. That's a movie, and only on my mind because I watched Final Destination 5 last night, and I have I can't see 3D films like. Obviously, I see in 3D because like I'm alive, but like I can't see 3D films at all. I can't see out my left eye properly, so it doesn't work for me at all. So I watched Final Destination 5, which apparently has amazing 3D effects all the way through it. I actually was surprised how much I enjoyed it because I really hated Final Destination 4, and 3 I was like, and 2 I was like, okay, it's all right.
I get lost. I get lost after the third one. Is 5. Is that the one with the racetrack?
No, 5 is it all goes full circle basically. This 5 is they are on a company retreat and on a coach and going across a bridge, and the bridge collapses. Yeah, and like it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
And it's a lot more like the first one.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, this isn't crap. Like
it's been a long time. I don't even know if I've watched it all the way through. I know the bridge scene. Maybe that's the only scene I've seen from
it. And the end of it is really good as well. And often that's the hardest thing to pull off. However, there is a kind of best of thing that's maybe in 3D that they put at the end of the whole series, which is a bit strange. It's like a supercut at the end just for no reason. Somebody's just like got a new YouTube channel and they're just like, oh, the best bits of Final Destination. So yeah, anyway, I'm wondering if people are excited to see that, and that's coming out in May.
Yeah. Oh, all right, cool. Yeah. I look forward to that one. All right, just to wrap up on this episode then, not a lot really to say other than thank you for the 100 subscribers and people that are sending us messages and all sorts of nice comments along the way. I will, if this goes well and it works, then hopefully we'll start having video podcasts for YouTube, because people want to see our pretty faces.
Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? And my beautiful homestead here of I've been living in the Windows 98 background. I've been trapped inside this for years, so people need to see it.
You need to get with the times, man.
I need to get a Windows 2000 background.
Next episode is a new one. It's on Prime. You've got Prime, right?
Ghost Ship 2, yeah.
Ghost Ship 2! No, it came out mid last year. Or it's called Imaginary. Have you seen it?
No, never heard of it.
Imaginary. Okay.
Are you making it up?
Maybe. It looks pretty cool. But then again, most trailers now do look pretty cool. So we will see. It's got like a little teddy bear on the front cover. You've probably seen the poster.
Okay, now you've said teddy bear. I definitely don't want to see it. No.
It is.
Okay.
I believe it is a
Is it
Blumhouse
a real
film.
It's a Blumhouse film. Okay, no, I definitely don't want to. No. Imagine. So it's big teddy bear, and okay, let's see what the guy did. Okay. Right, we'll give that a go.
Okie dokie. Yeah, okay. Imaginary from 2024.
Is it free on...
Yeah, I believe it is on Prime.
Okay, I'm up for that then.
Sweet.
I just started watching it just now.
Well, at least let me stop record before you start the next one.
No, you can sit here and I'll just watch.
We'll just go straight into it.
Yeah, listen to me watching it in real time.
Yeah.
I won't say a word. I'll just sit here in silence watching it.
You'll just get a lot of...
Yeah. Ooh,
Ooh,
teddy
ooh.
bear.
Ah!
Great direction, Jeff Wardlow.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and see us out. So if you've liked today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can be our 101st subscriber. You can find us on all the socials, and you can join in the chats and vote on the poll picks that we do every month for what we're going to cover. That's a wrap for today. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Here's John.